My name's Charles. I am with Electrician Marketing AI, and what we focus on doing is providing marketing services for businesses like yourself. Now, the game plan for this session is to just kind of go over all the areas of what we need to focus on for Q4. So, we need to be setting clear goals and targets for the year. We want to realign KPIs and tracking to achieve the outcomes associated with it. Then we want to map out our plan for that accomplishment. So that means the budget, what channels we're running, as well as important trends that you might want to stay involved in. And then lastly, we're just going to be looking at ways to set you up for massive success in 2024 and beyond. So this is going to be for you if you own an electrical service business or you offer it as part of your services. Now, if you're looking to scale your business and you're looking for a good roadmap on how to do so, then you're in the right place. Now, who are we? Why should you care, right? Well, we're what's called a digital marketing artificial intelligence agency. We like to think of ourselves as one of the first of our kind. As a team, we have well over 20 years of combined digital marketing experience. We've worked in a variety of different industries, including the home service industry, real estate, and insurance. And we understand every facet of internet marketing. And we noticed that people in the electrical service field were underserved. And right up here, I'm up in Cleveland, Ohio. We just recently had a major tornado that took out the power pretty much throughout the entire city for a couple of weeks. And just watching all the electricians get out there repairing everything and stuff like that just really drives home this point that what you guys do is essential, from the convenience of light switches and TVs turning on to the necessary medical equipment that needs the constant power. You guys are crucial to keeping the country running. And frankly speaking, you deserve more clients. So our mission is to help 1,000 electrical service businesses just like yours triple their business. And this is the internet marketing plan that we set out to help you guys do that with. Okay. Now, the first part here is that we want to be setting clear goals. Now, in order to set clear goals, we want to just always remember here that success is goals, everything else is commentary, right? If we don't know where we're going, then how are we going to get there? So a business without goals, something like this, it's just a car, it's on the side of the road. You don't know what you're going to do or anything like that. And a business with goals is just crushing it. They're just flying down the street, they're getting to where they need to go. They're not worried about anything because they know that they have a roadmap of what they're trying to accomplish. So we want to first start with your business at a glance, right? So we want to consider what our average monthly revenue is, the typical number of jobs that we run per month, and then the other major key metrics like the average ticket price, your average conversion rate when you're out in the field, and the number, excuse me, the number of trucks that you have running at any given time. And then long-term vision, 2025 and beyond, you want to figure what is the annual revenue that you want to strive for going forward? How many trucks do you want to scale to? And why does that even matter, right? Because if you don't have a why about why you're growing, then it doesn't really matter. You won't be invested in the growth of your business as a whole. So first here, we're going to look at our lead generation target planning spreadsheet. So if we have a goal of earning $1 million, that means our monthly revenue target is $83,000, 333, right? And if the average ticket value is $3,000, that means we need 28 service calls per month in order to hit our $1 million goal, right? So you want to make sure that this is completely laid out and ready for you and presented, right? Because if you don't have something like that tracking your numbers, you're really just kind of growing and you don't really know where things are going, where you need to scale, what you need to put in place, or anything like that, because you don't have your numbers firmly planted in front of you. And we're going to be sending you over a copy of that spreadsheet so that you can punch in your numbers and try them yourselves once this webinar is finished. Now, your marketing strategy is also important, right? We use a multi-channel model called the growth acceleration model. Okay. The growth acceleration model can take your business from just kind of struggling, just kind of getting by, working on referrals. You're making some moves, but you're just trying to make things happen. You don't quite know what you're doing yet, to being able to put the whole thing on steroids and start growing your business with scale, with speed, and everything in between. So we focus on three key areas in that marketing acceleration model. Number one is driving leads. Number two is maximizing conversions. And number three is optimizing the results on the other side. So let's start with how we're driving leads. Number one is going to be organic SEO. Now, it should be easy for people to find you looking for your services, okay? That's why search engine optimization is critical to your success online. Now, on page, you want to make sure that you have pages for each service that you offer, as well as the main cities that you're working with. You want to make sure that you have unique content on each of those pages, right? When it relates to Google My Business, you want to make sure that you're claiming and optimizing your section on maps. You want to add to Yext and some of the other citation management platforms. You want to put a system in place for making sure that you're consistently getting new Google reviews. So you don't want to just leave it in the hands of, I hope my technician asks for Google reviews. You want to put it into a systematized format where you're automating the process of collecting those Google reviews. And then lastly, you want to make sure that you're also putting out some good ongoing content, new blog posts, and syndicate them across your different channels so that people can understand what it is that you're doing, what areas that you serve, and when they're looking for you online, they're able to find you. You also, it's a good way to build authority and trust, as well as just show that you're an expert in your field. Now, this is one of our customers that we're working with here, and they were able to see a 65% growth just from organic SEO. They had an additional 95 calls in this particular month, as well as 173 Google Maps calls. All of this is coming in organic just from the content that we're putting into their page, right? Now, search engines receive hundreds of thousands of searches per day, and a lot of them are for your services, right? So this is something that we pulled recently, where electrician companies near me are getting 450,000 searches per month, as well as electrician near me is getting 368,000 searches per month. And this is traffic that you guys could grab, right? So if you don't have a system in place that's targeting these keywords, that's targeting these search terms and everything in between, then you're missing out on money, because people are out there looking for the things that you're selling. Now, most paid search campaigns, they fail for a couple of different reasons. Number one is that they set up only one ad group for all their services, right? So they've just got one ad group that's promoting everything: rewires, indoor lighting, electrical repairs, panel replacement, etc. And that's going to become very cumbersome. You can't really measure what service is resonating with people and what to put more of your budget into, or anything in between. You're just kind of we like to say, throwing spaghetti at the wall, right? And you're not really accomplishing anything. Now, the other side is they don't use specific text ads and landing pages for those groups of keywords, meaning that you want to make sure that you're actively targeting individual repairs and creating simple landing pages that relate to that particular offer. And then last, there's no strong call to action or offer on the landing page. Usually you get to the websites and it's like, oh, hey, you can maybe give us a call, or you can give us your phone number and we'll reach out to you, as opposed to directing people to what they need to do in order to get on the calendar with you and get an estimate. Now, the other reason why it fails is because there's slow intake. There is no system in place to automate the process of booking estimates or gathering project information from these clients, right? So without a system in place to automate everything, you just have leads that are sitting there, they're getting stale, and then you add that to the problem of no follow-up, and you just have money that you've spent on leads that you're just not getting any return on because you haven't received a yes or a no from them. Now, our follow-up system, when we look here, let's say that you were to grab 224 leads at a conversion rate of 40%. That means that's 90 book jobs with an average ticket of maybe $750. That's $67,200, or an ROI of 7.5. Okay. So there's a lot of opportunity in the paid search area, but you want to make sure that you have your systems dialed in so that you can maximize every single person that comes through the door. Now, database reactivation is huge, right? This is another section of where we're going to be helping you dial this stuff in, because all your advertising efforts can become an absolute waste if you don't have a contact database to store captured leads and follow up efficiently. So the reality is that it often takes maybe 3 to 6 touches before a prospect will convert into becoming a customer. But what typically happens is that the prospect will receive 1 or 2 phone calls, maybe an email or something like that. And this lack of consistent follow-up means leads are falling through the crack and you're just burning money on your leads. Or like me and one of the attendees were speaking beforehand, and he was talking about how he just feels like they're just telling him, hey, just spend more money. Spending more money is not the answer. The answer is dialing in your systems, building out a solid database, and making sure that nobody is falling through the cracks. Spending more money is just burning more money. Okay. Your whole database should be receiving some sort of follow-up on a monthly basis. Now, that could be a monthly newsletter that you have someone on your team put together or something like that that's branded and gives them an opportunity to reach out to you if they need additional services, or they can also refer people to you in exchange for some sort of incentive. But the main thing is that you need to be contacting your database in some form on a monthly basis, because you've already spent the money to get their information. So you should definitely get a solid yes or no. And you should also leverage the people who said yes to get more yeses by touching base with them for referrals or potential repeat business if they have other things going on, such as people who work with real estate investors, right? Real estate investors, especially good ones, are always buying houses, which means that if you're checking in with them every month, it's very realistic that they could have just bought a new property and they need you and your team to come out and assist with a rewire or a panel replacement or something of that nature, right? But if you're not constantly at the top of the customer's mind, they might not think of you and they might just run to somebody else. Now, this is an example of one of the reactivation campaigns that we put together. Um, we'll send out a text message that goes to everybody in the phone. It's like, hey, this is Chris with ABC Electrical. We're currently offering 20% off any electrical service. You can reply yes to claim your coupon. And then once someone replies yes, we're able to automate the process of either booking them an appointment right there in the text messages, or simply sending them a link and they can go ahead and just click a spot on their calendar at their convenience. Now, database reactivation is powerful because let's say you have a list of just over 5,000 people, and if there were over 300 replies to those text messages that you sent out, and you booked 119 jobs and you completed 24 of them, that's $84,000 in revenue based on our average that we were putting out there. So database reactivation is powerful. The Pareto principle says that 80% of your business is going to come from 20% of your customers, and having a strong database reactivation system in place is what's going to allow you to fully capitalize on that 20% that's really going to grow and help you scale your business. Now, let's get into discussing how we maximize conversions. Now, first is the website. Is your website optimized for conversions? If a person visits your website, how easy is it for them to become a customer or to contact you, right? Well, number one, there's a few different things. We have 12 critical elements, right? And I'll go through them quickly. Number one, you want to speak to your target avatar. What are their fears? What are their frustrations? Why should they choose you, right? You want to be real. You don't want to just have a bunch of generic images of electricity or things like that or anything like that that just doesn't look realistic. You should have authentic images of you and your team throughout the website, out in the community, performing jobs and showing people that you are the real deal. You want to use video and multimedia elements to engage different people, right? So if you have a website welcome video or a simple commercial that you've shot or something like that, it should 110% be living on your website so that once they land on your site, they're seeing that video and they're able to know you're a real person, you provide a real service. And sometimes it's just when you see a person's face, it just makes you trust them more. It creates more authority, it creates more trust, right? Now, you also want to leverage your social proof. If you've got online reviews prominently displayed on the homepage, then that means people are able to see, okay, other people have worked with this guy and they liked what they saw. So that's hugely important. Now, you want to make sure that the basics are in order too, okay? Now, the phone number needs to be prominently displayed somewhere heavy on the web page, usually up in the right-hand corner. You want to ensure that there is a web form customers can fill out and immediately start getting some feedback and follow up from you. And then you want to add credibility with the different authority symbols. So if you're associated with the Better Business Bureau or Angie's List or anything like that, you want to make sure that all of that is prominently displayed on the website. And then last, you also want to ensure you have clear call to actions on your page that speak to the customer avatar and tell them exactly what they need to do next. If you've got any special offers or anything like that that you're putting out, you want to make sure that that's also prominently displayed, and you want to use those to match the service they're in need of. And then you also this is huge. Like 90% of people now are using their cell phones when they're looking things up and searching for things and everything in between. So you need to make sure that your website is optimized for mobile. A lot of people make these beautiful websites that function well on desktop, but when they pull up the mobile version of the website, it's so scaled down that it's no longer functional. You want to leverage live chat, whether having an AI live chat or having somebody on your team manage the live chat. Just having someone that can come through and immediately start a conversation with you and your team is powerful. You want to give clients the option to book with you online, just because you want to strike while the iron is hot. If they're already on the website and they're already looking for you, they should have the option to go ahead and book an appointment with you right there on the website. And site speed matters. You want to make sure that you have the best possible hosting so that the website is moving quickly. And then lastly, you want to make sure that you're engaging via SMS and phone via marketing automation. So once they fill out a form or they engage with the live chat or anything like that, you're reaching out to them and you're making contact within 5 to 10 minutes. And this is huge here because we see we're actively tracking all of the conversions that come through the website and everything like that. So this is just a couple of different people that we have in the website, and we're usually holding about a 38 to 30% conversion rate of people just coming through the website via the search engine or anything like that. And the reason for that is because we put all these different layers in place that allow for a person to immediately convert once they get to the website. If there aren't any options for conversion and the only thing that you have on there is, hey, this is my phone number, give me a call, it's very likely that this person is probably just going to click out and potentially go somewhere else. Now, reputation is huge. You want to make sure you're gathering social proof. Google reviews can make or break your business, and showcasing them on your website is critical. As I said before, make sure that you're automating that process. There's a lot of great systems and tools in place to do that. And then automation as a whole, right? Because a lot of people think that lead flow is their issue, right? But a lot of people are doing the things they need to do to generate leads. They're doing a little bit of SEO. They're running local service ads. They're listed on Thumbtack. They've dialed in some energy with their website and their Google ads, and they're working with Home Advisor. They might have a referral program. So leads are not the issue, so to speak, right? The issue is that there's no system in place that allows you to consistently stay in front of these leads without you or someone on your team having to sit down and do it. Because if you've been in business longer than a year, you probably have a back end that's filled with names, numbers, and email addresses that you could be reaching out to and potentially turning that into more money, more customers, more revenue, right? So the real problems are that 50 to 60% of inbound leads stay unconverted. So no yes, no no. 90% of the web forms fail to convert because the leads that come in aren't contacted within 15 minutes. And if they're not contacted within 15 minutes, they're going to go cold. Now, the average customer usually has to be followed up with maybe 5 to 7 times before booking. Now, some people typically they have a different sort of business model, but just from my experience working in sales, following up and everything like that, we found that on average, 5 to 7 touches is kind of necessary just to make sure that they will engage and get with you so that you can get out there and give the estimate and or perform the service, as well as the fact that today's consumer genuinely prefers to interact via text message versus phone call or email. They would much rather just text back and forth with you or a bot, set their appointment, and move on. So the solution to that is that you want to leverage marketing automation systems. And in order to do that, that's going to help you follow up with people who submit their web forms in, and within the first 2 minutes of submission, they're going to get a phone number, an email, and a text message, right? And then you want to make sure that you automate the follow-up so that the prospect is touched 5 times at minimum and able to engage via two-way texting, right? So just by reaching out and consistently trying to start that conversation with them, you're able to put you and your team in a position to where you can convert them and turn them into a customer. And it looks a little something like this, where they get on the offer page, they see some sort of application form, web form, etc. Once they fill out that form, it bounces them over to a calendar where they're able to book an estimate appointment with you. If they don't book the estimate appointment with you, that means that we're going to email them, we're going to text message them, and everything in between. And when they do finally book, we're sending them to a confirmation page with maybe an additional call to action or something like that. But we'll let them know that everything's been confirmed. We'll send them the message, and they'll get reminders just letting them know when their estimate appointment is coming up so that they don't miss you or any of your technicians. Now, lastly, let's get into optimizing your results. you want to figure out what your spend for the year is going to be in advance, okay? So you have to establish your total budget in advance, and we typically believe that 10% of revenue is the standard. So again, just bouncing back to our spreadsheet here, and again, you'll get a copy of this if you want to make use of it. This is our marketing budget planner. And if you wanted to generate, say, if you had a projected revenue of $1 million, right? We're going to assign 10% to that. So that means $100,000 per year is going to be going into your monthly budget, or $100,000 a year is going to be going into your marketing budget, excuse me. Now, as it relates to how we break this down, we say 80% should be going into online marketing, 10% should be going into offline marketing. So that's postcards, signs, things like that, right? And then 10% should be going into repeat business, meaning just reaching out to people and having some sort of loyalty program or referral incentive affiliated with it, right? Now, as it relates to online marketing, because that's what we do, um, in this case, you would be looking at 35% of your budget should go towards the SEO portion of what you're promoting. You should have 55% associated with PPC and the local service ads. So targeting those keywords, about 55% of your budget should go towards search. And then 5% of your budget should go towards display ads and retargeting people who have seen your content or seen your ads online and decided that they wanted to potentially work with you, or they filled out a form and never got back to you. By layering all of this in place, you're able to say, okay, I know that my organic is handled because I've invested 35% into creating fresh content that's going to go out every single month. And it's going to get these people in the door via the search engines, right? Then we have PPC, where we're going to be actively targeting those keywords as well as the local service ads with the Google guarantee. So that's just more authority to where you can make sure that you're at the top of every Google page, so that when people are looking for your service, they're not scrolling around. They're able to just click you right off the bat. And then lastly is retargeting. If they click anything that's associated with you or look at anything that's associated with you, we can actually capture that data and make sure that we're constantly showing them us. We're constantly showing them everything that they do, right? Now, get this back up. Now, you also want to establish your cost per lead in advance. What we've seen for electrical is that the average is about $55 for PPC, $28 for Google local service ads, and $5 for the repeat. And then as an average, it's about $29. Okay. So if you're running ads, you just want to evaluate lead costs consistently to make sure that your targeting is on point. If you're not doing that, then it's very possible that you might be overpaying for your leads. This is a good example of a campaign that we ran. This gentleman, he only invested $1,000 into leads over the course of a month. We were able to get him 29 conversions, 50,000 impressions, and his average cost per conversion was only $38. So we came in way underneath the average just because our targeting was very strong. Now, as we're wrapping up here, I want you to consider what areas do you believe your business could improve in? So that means you have to plan your focus. So in planning your focus, you need to know what you're promoting and targeting month over month. And that's going to make it easier to track results and adjust things as you see fit, right? So we want to make sure that we're sending out different sorts of offers, such as whether we're focusing on LED lighting installation, or we're pushing for more maintenance plans, or we're promoting our light fixture repairs or our indoor lighting services. Whatever we're deciding to focus on, we're going to have one area that we put some additional effort into month over month. And once we find those good niches, those good service plans that people are responding to in an aggressive way, that's when we just put a little more heat on the fire and get them rolling. Now, just to recap, because again, we're just about finished here. There are 9 clear steps to triple your sales by getting your internet marketing right. Number one, you got to drive leads. So that's going to come from the organic SEO, from your paid ads, and from your database where you're following up and just converting past customers and old leads. You want to maximize your conversions with a strong website, good reputation management, and automation systems on your back end. And lastly, you want to optimize the results, because you want to make sure that you understand what your total ad spend is on a month-to-month basis, what your average cost per lead is, so that way you know how much you're investing in each lead. And then you want to know how much the average ticket is, so that you can understand what your return on investment is going to be. So as a whole, this is the digital dominance method, where everything from paid online directories, repeat and referral, pay per lead, social media advertising, referral programs, SEO, PPC, and retargeting are all dialed in. If you have all of these channels dialed in, then there's no reason why your business shouldn't grow, simply because you're going to be getting in front of people in a variety of different ways, from paid traffic to organic traffic via SEO and everything in between. So that's it out of me. If you are interested in learning what we can do to help your business specifically, I want you to go ahead and book your free online marketing plan review, where what we're going to do is we're actually just going to dive into your online presence. We're going to analyze your online visibility, so just see where you rank, provide you with a we're going to do a ranking report for you so that you can show where you're currently ranking in those keywords. We'll do an analysis of those online directory listings and just kind of see if those are consistent across everything. We'll do an analysis of your online reviews and reputation, analysis of your social media presence, and lastly, an analysis of your website conversion effectiveness, and ultimately just get into how me and your team could partner in order to help you triple your business, grow, and everything in between. So that's it out of me. I appreciate you guys' time. Thank you for spending an hour with me to learn how to grow your business. If you want to go ahead and get that scheduled, you can scan the QR code, or we'll be sending out the replay via email here in the next hour or so, as well as the website is listed right here. We're electricianmarketingai.com/schedule, or if you're looking at this via the computer, you can go ahead and scan that QR code. But if you have any questions, I'm going to be sticking around for the next 5-10 minutes, so feel free to just jump in and ask. But other than that, thank you for your time, and you guys have a blessed evening.